Good morning, everybody. School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com welcomes today's speaker, Ms. Kamalpreet Kaur. And today's topic is the hybrid mode of teaching. The duration of the topic is around 20 minutes. During or after the talk, please post your questions in the QA box, which you will see below the video screen. And Ms. Speaker, you can start your talk now, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Kamalpreet Kaur. I have been teaching from last 11 years. Today, we are going to learn about hybrid mode of teaching. So my topic is that. So when I was a kid, I used to basically wonder that why can't school comes to our homes and teachers can teach us whether we are sitting in our rooms or not. But I never ever realized that it would be a reality in my lifetime only, though not as a kid, but as a teacher. Because during the pandemic, we have seen the schools have literally shifting to our bedrooms so that we can easily learn at our own pace and in our comfortable niche, be it in a hot scoring summers or a cold freezing days. And as we all get to use to online methods while during pandemic, from our vast offline experiences, we were able to know now what are the pros and cons of both the systems, because all the systems of teaching have their own weaknesses and the benefits. So I think in my point of view, the hybrid mode of teaching is the best, where we can conduct both online and offline classes simultaneously. And teachers as well as students are more beneficial over it. So even few of the schools like Kothari in Noida, Milestone in Patiala are trying to opt for these methods, as they are conducting the offline classes in the morning half and half an hour or 45 minutes classes in the afternoon session, just to cover up what they have done in the whole day. So before starting, what are the benefits of hybrid learning? Let's learn what is hybrid learning. Basically, hybrid learning is the combination of both the systems, both the offline and the online learning, for singular learning experiences without any weaknesses, so that we can combine benefits of both the things. So what are the benefits of hybrid learning? The first main benefit we can talk about is a flexible learning experiences. Here they are having a flexible learning schedules, the flexibility in teaching modes, engagement of students with the learning materials, and communication with peers and teacher. Now, how flexibility in teaching modes or learning schedule? Because when we are providing our material online, we are giving them everything online, whether they are notes or certain QA type of questions or something, MCQs based assessments, we are giving them flexibility to complete at their own pace, because they have to submit it online. And when we do not put a time lag between them, they can redo these things again and again. Flexibility in teaching modes, because when we are in the classrooms, we are either bound to our textbooks or to the educom system already provided in the schools. But when we are in the home, we can find out whether that educom video is okay with our content, or is it good enough to show, or it is covering everything or not. If we are not finding it equivalent to our standards, we can find the YouTube videos from our screen, and we can easily share it through different platforms like Google Meet, Teams, Zoom, etc., from wherever platform the classroom is taking place. So that is the more thing. Even engagement of students with the teachers and the peers is much more effectively, because sometimes they are not good in talking face to face. They found it that it's better to write down in a chat box to communicate. So that is also a plus point for those students who are shy to ask the questions of face to face. So in the and even if the students, if they are not able to attend the class in person due to some or the other reason, the hybrid learning ensures that they are learning the things done in that particular days from their home, because they are not able to miss anything. Because offline, if they are not going to the school, they will miss the whole day what is being done. So second thing that my main point for this benefits are can be synchronous communication opportunity. So this hybrid mode of teaching helps maintain a good relationship between teacher and student, because students are meeting with the teachers online also and offline also. So they can communicate as per their ease. If they find that face-to-face talking is much more good, they can talk when they're having offline classes. But if they think that chatting or talking in the online mode is more convenient, then they can talk it like that. So it becomes a more good relationship, best relationship between the teacher and the student. But for facilitator, for a teacher, it should be a proper management of time should be taken place, because the time which is being judicially used has to be seen. So whenever if the teacher is taking an online class or an offline class, that has to be planned accordingly, because in both the terms you need what content to be shown, which video to be shown, how to done, because in offline your teaching methods will be bit different from your online teaching methods. So they has to be properly planned and executed. The freedom of independent academic exploration. There are some students which want to learn at their own pace and at their own easy method, whatever. If they don't want to learn the first chapter because they have already done 15 days back, they can shift to the second chapter at their own pace. So they have not. So they are students which are having self-management, which can independently learn anything. They are having a more ease than the online platforms, because they can learn easily. Likewise, Byju's, Whitehead Junior, these apps are giving these things that students can learn at their own ease. So there will be no problem. And even the online platform tells students, if they have a good net connectivity, they can learn at any level, at any location, and they can revisit that page number of times whenever they wish. But in offline, we can say that when the chapter is over, the teacher will never explain that chapter again for the whole class if it is once done. Though she or he will be explaining the things most of the time, but depending upon the availability of time. But when we are having the online thing, so online material is available, then the student can easily revisit that page and learn that page again and again. So when we are combining both the things by binding hybrid and this in binding online and offline methods continuously, then we are binding both the benefits. We are taking the chapter offline, we are teaching the students offline that particular chapter or a topic, and the students which are not comfortable with the online, or they do not have the net connectivity, or they do not have the devices, they can learn at their side. And the students who have this other facilities, they can learn in that method also. So next is the more efficient use of resources. Sometimes it is very frustrating when you are in the class and you don't have to do anything, because that time your lecture planning is like that. The students have been given the assessment, they are on their tabs or iPads or laptops, and they are doing their own work. And every student in your class is at different speed, at different place, and a different page also. So sometimes at a different subject also. It is just similar condition, you can say. When you are in examination, the students are sitting of different classes doing different subject papers, so you have nothing to do with that. So when we are having the online classes, make sure that you are giving them a particular risk. It should not be like if they are online, everyone should be online and they are with the same page. And if you are giving offline works, the students are coming or face to face to you, so you have to take into account which resources you will be needing for each of your lesson, and you have to plan accordingly to optimize the use of resources. So these are the certain benefits of your hybrid learning. And when we are planning about our hybrid learning, or we are planning about any of our teaching classes, whether offline or online, we have to make sure that our teaching is very effective. So what is important to remember, that whenever we are teaching, a good teaching, whether it is online, offline, or hybrid, or any other method, it has the same principle, like a strong teacher presence, engaged learning communities, contact time between teacher and student, and for students in pairs and groups. So certain tips should be remembered in our mind when we are having any type of classes, so that there is a good learning environment between you and the students. First is communication. Communication is very important and critical in all types of modes, whether it is online, offline, or hybrid. Because whenever you are starting your class, so understanding the mood of the students before starting the class is the best way to engage someone effectively or everyone effectively in your class. Sometimes teachers do not understand, they just enter in the class and start telling them, open your books, we are going to read this and that. That should not be done, because sometimes the students are either tired or bored. So when you enter in the class, at least give them few seconds, at least at 15 to 20 seconds, to grasp you, yes, the so and so teachers have entered and this subject will be done. So engage in some fun activities, either in the start or in between of the class, and always end up your session with some curiosity in your class, so that students are always coming back to your class. They do not run away from you. They do not go away ki, "Oof, this is the period coming up, I don't want to go with this class." And they go, okay, wow, this is the class, I'm going to this class. They should be curiosity, but they should be having an enthusiasm to enter in your class. For simple example, like you can always go with certain funny facts in the starting, or some certain funny activities. Like if you think the students are getting bored, they are feeling less energized, so you can simply just tell them to, okay, sit stand game, simple games, and you can simply change the method to, or you can simply tell them, okay, everyone start laughing for 1 minute, let's see who laughs at the first. So these simple activities can enhance your children to get more interesting in your class. So always let them know where to go and who to contact if they run into any difficulty, and always make sure that you are asking questions to the children, so that you are prompting them to answer at regular intervals, so they do not lose the interest. Sometimes you simply say, okay, fine, I'm also bored by teaching this and that subject, can anyone tell some interesting fact? So this also breaks the monotony of the lecture, and you can easily excel with your subject. Always keep it simple. Whenever you are delivering any lecture or any topic, always keep it simple and only choose what is in relation with that content. Make your online teaching as effective as offline teaching, because as a facilitator, we have a vast experience of offline teacher. Few of them must be teaching from the last 30-40 years or 20 years or 11 years. So they must be having a good in offline experience, because for online we say we have in last 2 years experience only, max to max. So offline experiences are more in this. So we are having like one tone, like we just enter in the class, we give a lecture and we leave. And when we were in online, we were experimenting, and in the starting we must have found lot of difficulties. So that is okay. If you are having some difficulties, ask anyone in your group. You can get professional advice and ask for help if facing any of the error. So always keep it simple. Always ask for the doubts if you're having. Take advice from the peers and be aware of your accessibility. Whenever the student approaches you, always make sure that you are telling them something or other thing. If you are not free at that time, you are having a class, you can tell them, I will be free at so and so time, you can contact me. So always be accessible to the students, because all the students, whenever they're taking online or offline class, they are not always fully present in your class. For offline, they must be physically present, but mentally they are not present. For online, though, you can't guess whether the student is sitting in the class or not, because most of the time their cameras are off. So always be accessible to students, because they do not participate fully in your course, and make sure that your teaching materials are always available to them. For science and math classes, if you are taking them online, the labs are not available for activities. So simple practical things can be done in your home with the simple things, like your baking soda and vinegar reactions, or telling them the changes between physical and chemical things, or simple fun activities, like if they are not able to understand what is chlorophyll for junior tots, I'm talking about. So for fifth and sixth class, if they are not able to tell about that, what is the photosynthesis reaction, how plants make their own food, you can simply give the fun activity, like, okay, fine, tomorrow if you are having an early morning class like 9:30 or 10 o'clock, then you can simply tell them, okay, tomorrow we are all wearing green color dress and we'll stand in the sun for 10 minutes and we'll see whether we can make our food or not. So we'll stop feeling hungry after some time or not. So that thing of activities can be done. And another thing, make your assessment fun, whether online or offline. Always your assessments, your class tests should be fun. There should be paper pen test also, but that should be properly scheduled. Students should be given some time to learn the things. But mostly what I mean with the assessment fun, sometimes you can have quizzes, sometimes you can have MCQs or OTBAs even also. Though CBSE has removed that OTBA part, but that is also a best tool. What I feel is this: for OTBA, simply when you are with the class, the kids are able to understand you, just tell them we are doing this chapter, and from this chapter I can take a test any of the day. It would be and one day randomly any of the day, you can say, okay, this is an OTBA test. For that, make sure your assessment is not so easy that they can find out the answer as easy as possible. Make it a little tricky, but make it a fun. You can tell them to open the books, find out the answers and learn. Or you can simply, if you're making assignment little easy one, then tell them to read the chapter for first 10 minutes and then we'll do the assessment for 10 minutes. And to give them a reward, you can simply give them a card, appreciation card, or write down the name on the board so that they are able to know about their report. So every child next time will want to excel, I would get that appreciation card or I would get that name on the board. So that are the certain way to make your assessments a fun way. So it would not be a paper pen type of test, which is always like a headache for the kids. And when you know that your students already know you, but you need to show them that you are always present for them whenever they need you. It should not be like this, that you are not going to do this or that, you will not be available this. If you are having some time crunch, we always do have, tell them I cannot be doing this thing, but I will be solving in a day or 2 days after that. Tell them some particular time which you can engage for them. So that would be helpful for both of you. Simply do the best you can and you will be excelling your teachings. Whether it's a hybrid or simply online or offline, that will be fun. Thank you very much. By this, I finish my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kamalpreet. Can you, can you maximize your camera, please, so that...
How to do that, actually, maximize my camera?
Yes, yeah, I can see it properly.
Okay.
Yeah. So here are some questions lined up, ma'am. I'll read out those questions to you. Okay. Do you think, the first question goes like this. Do you think hybrid method of teaching will continue in the years ahead?
Yeah, definitely they will be continuing, because we have seen that online methods and offline methods, both when combined together, are giving much better results. Because right now, Whitehead Junior, Byju's, and few more sites have been doing that thing. So that would be going up in the future.
Okay. The second question is this. Please tell us about your education career background. What motivated you to be a teacher?
Okay, I am MSc B.Ed, and my motivation was my chemistry teacher only, Miss Mona. So she was really a very good, excellent teacher. Right now, she is principal of Modern Senior School, Patiala, and I was in love with her subject. So I used to bunk other classes to be in her class.
That's nice, ma'am. So, where do you start to prepare for hybrid teaching?
For this, basically, like in pandemic only, when I shifted to online mode, I found in the starting, I found difficult method because I was comfortable with the offline one. But slowly and slowly, I found, because my son was also going to school, so I was teaching him at home also, and then in the online classes also. So I find that mixing both the patterns would be much more beneficial than a single method.
Okay. So what tools do you really need to succeed, ma'am?
Sorry, repeat it.
What tools do you really need to succeed in this hybrid mode of teaching? What tools do you use?
Tools. Basically, I think more comfortable with that technology, which I still lag a little bit. The kids nowadays are much more advanced than us. So a little more technology, tech savvy should be there, and a little more like the YouTube videos. I'm creating my YouTube videos also, but I have not created much more, hardly 2 or 3. So I need to excel in that part also, so that I'm more comfortable with the online part. Because for offline, I'm comfortable. I just lag a little bit in online mode.
Okay. So with your experience, what do you think? What characteristics do students want their teachers to possess?
Friendly behavior, and always smiling face. There should not be a like this. And third thing, what I found is that the teacher should be keen to answer the things. And if a teacher doesn't know something, sometimes it happens that we don't know all the things. Our students, are more tech savvy. They Google out most of the things and they ask certain doubts. Then be ready to accept that you are having some doubt in this concept. You will be telling this thing again tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Okay, good to know, ma'am. So, how has your mindset changed as an educator since pandemic?
As such, though, there is no such change. A little bit change, like I have seen lot of people, including me, losing their jobs because of pandemic. The staff cutting was there, so that should not be done. Basically, the teaching periods, because the sometimes kids are not comfortable with the new teacher. So otherwise it's okay. Otherwise I'm comfortable. And even the students are still in touch with me. They sometimes do ask the doubts with me, even from the previous schools also, not only from Noida, from Sonipat, from Punjab, Patiala. They're asking me, ma'am, what to do this and this. So I don't think that there is any change in my teaching pattern.
Okay, good to know, ma'am. So, what is your favorite subject to teach and why?
My favorite is science. I'm a science teacher. And why is because of Manpreet ma'am, Mona ma'am. She was one of my favorite in school times. And in college, again, a chemistry teacher, Miss Nirmal Kaur. She was also a wonderful chemistry teacher. And I love these two teachers.
Okay, so related to the favorite subject, what is your least favorite subject and how do you approach it to ensure that you teach it well?
My least favorite is basically in terms of science, it is physics, but overall it is SST. For physics, I do prepare a lot before entering in the class, and sometimes if I'm not able to deliver the concept properly, or there is some doubt which I don't know exactly, so I simply said, "Beta, I have a doubt in this concept. I will be explaining it tomorrow in the next class, whatever I'm having."
Okay, so last question but not the least, ma'am. What is the greatest challenge facing teachers today?
The greatest challenge facing is basically about the kids nowadays, as well as the parents, because when we were the kids, teach whatever teacher said, it was like, you can say, a line on the stone. But nowadays, if we say something to the kids, the parents come to us and they simply ask why we have scolded their child or something. Children today nowadays are more pampered as compared to us, which is basically making the children more tech savvy than the having less interest in the subject. They can do everything. They are able to do all types of mysterious. They have a good sharp IQ level, but they are not indulging that in the studies. So that is the basic problem we are facing nowadays.
Right. So those are the questions posted by the audience, ma'am. School
Thank
Journal of
you.
Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all these questions. We
Thank you, ma'am.
also thank the audience for participating in the event and we'll end the meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.